again today. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get our notifications so that you know when we're going live every day. And give us a thumbs up so we can help spread the word. We have some awesome projects for you guys to do today. But first, I wanted to take a look at what we did yesterday. So this is Isabella's project of the lemon from yesterday. And the salt, tell me what you see, Belly.
I mean, it's kind of clunking together and it's getting kind of yellow from the...
Yeah, and the yellow kind of, it's like all the way down here. So we can see where some of that lemon juice has gone. So there's a lot that's gone there. Hang on one sec. And in Georgia's, you can actually see, we've already changed the salt on hers once. She did a banana. And you can already see how much the salt is coming down because it's getting so wet. And that's after we've changed the salt because it got so wet before. I've never done a banana. Apparently, they're incredibly high in water content, and we are sucking it all out, which is awesome.
Can I do the egg?
And then the other thing that we had talked about was doing these eggs where you put the egg in vinegar and it will eat away at the calcium carbonate shell. And basically vinegar and calcium carbonate is kind of like vinegar and baking soda. So Ruby yesterday noticed that her egg was getting bubbles on it. And that's exactly what we would expect because when we do vinegar and baking soda, we get bubbles. It's carbon dioxide bubbles. So we started some last night too. I'm not going to touch Georgia's because she's going to want to touch that guy. But Belly, why don't you lift yours out and tell me what you see? Ooh, it is very big. What does it feel like? Be gentle.
Squishy.
Ooh, squishy. So we're getting to that water balloon egg.
Yeah. It feels like a water balloon. It's weird.
It's pretty great. So if you started your egg yesterday, you'll notice Isabella's able to squish it already. It'll take about one more day for the vinegar to eat through that calcium carbonate of the eggshell.
But you can see it cracking.
Oh, yeah, we can see it starting to get to that little membrane that's on the inside. So that will happen. And just know that like these little bubbles that are in here, these are all bubbles that are the same bubbles that are formed with vinegar and baking soda. So it's carbon dioxide that you have as bubbles. So that's like a little review of what we checked out yesterday. So today we are going to talk about forces and energy, which is going to be so much fun. And one thing I want to do first is I want to ask you guys a question. So we're all sort of like hanging out and sitting in the chair. And I want to know, what forces do you feel on your body right now? So you can type that in and we'll get it read off. I'm curious, like, what forces are acting on us right now? Do you have any ideas?
Gravity.
Gravity? Okay, gravity is definitely pulling us down. That's good. I love gravity. Without it, we would be like floating. We would have nowhere to go. Does anybody else have any ideas of other forces that are acting on their bodies right now? Gravity is a great one. I dig it. Anybody can write it on in. What do you feel?
What
do you feel?
I'm sitting on a chair.
You're sitting on a chair?
We have somebody who said air.
Air. Yes, we do feel air. We feel air when we're sort of moving our hands. We do. Air is not like going to be like, air kind of comes in all directions. So it sort of cancels itself out. Gravity pulls us down. The chair, what is the chair doing for us?
Not really. It's kind of holding us in place.
Yeah, it's holding us in place. Without the chair, we would fall.
We have oxygen and pressure.
Ooh, oxygen and pressure. That's kind of like the air around us. Would be like an oxygen and pressure situation. So we have gravity and we have the chair, which we'll call a normal force because it just always pushes you up, which I love. Now, new question. I'm going to start walking. Boop. This is going to be my pretend foot. I know it looks really weird, but that's okay. It's going to be my pretend foot. And I'm going to walk like this. You can even do it with your hand to see. And I'm curious, what forces are acting on my hand? I probably have one of the same forces for sure. What is a similar force do you think that's acting on my hand?
Gravity.
Gravity is still acting. Oh, thank goodness. Because that would be really weird if my bum was in the chair, but gravity did not work on my arm and my arm was like floating around. That would be awkward. Gravity.
We have is the chair holding us up the weak or the strong atomic force?
Ooh, Great question. So the chair holding us up is going to be basically the repulsion of the little tiny molecules inside the chair. I think that should be, oh man, it's been a while since I thought about this. I think it's the strong force between the two molecules. But we talk about, we're doing this like whole thing as an onion. So we want to go like the things that we can physically see and feel, because we've got something pulling down, something going up. What's going up on my hand right now?
Your elbow.
My elbow is going up. That's true. And that's being pressed up by what?
Your hand.
My hand? Well, how come my hand isn't going through the table?
Well, because the table's holding it out.
The table's holding it up. Yeah, my shoulder too. My shoulder's helping, which is very true. I've got a whole bunch of forces actually here because I've got all my muscles. But I do have gravity going down, and I have the table going up, which if we were walking would be the street. Georgia?
So,
give me a question.
Like, if there wasn't gravity, your hand would just be, you couldn't put it on the table. It would just like, I'm trying to pick it up, but it just floats.
It would be floaty. I do have my muscles still. So I could still, like, astronauts in space can still do, like, their awesome stuff.
Marin is asking about how big forces are.
Ooh, it totally depends. We are going to look at that today. So if I press on the table lightly, that's probably a small force. I could make that force bigger by pressing harder. And you can feel it in your hand. As you press harder, you feel more pressure on your hand. Oh my gosh, that's like really big. So some forces are constant, like gravity is always pulling us at the same amount. It's called 9.8 newtons. We always sort of estimate at 10 because math with tens is easy. But things like, you know, on the table, I could be pressing lightly on the table. And if I'm pressing lightly on the table's sort of pressing lightly up on me. The table's sort of like, whatever you do, I'll do too. So if I press really hard on the table's like, you're pressing really hard on me. I'm going to press really hard on you. And then you come back off. It's like, oh, that's nice. I'm not going to press very hard on you anymore. That's lovely. So yeah, so we're going to walk. So we've got gravity and we've got our table and our pretend foot. Here's a tricky one. How do I go forward when I'm walking? It's really hard for me to go forward. How can I go forward? What do you think? What force would be there if I'm going forward?
Like pressure?
Not pressure. Pressure's not a force. A pressure is a force applied over an area. So like my hand on the table, I'm putting pressure on the table because it's over an area. This is a really important force in my life. Pretty much always a drag, even though it helps me move. It's my riddle.
Energy.
Energy. Great, we're going to do energy later. Energy is a force that we push over a distance. So not quite just a force, but really close.
We have weight.
Ooh, weight is gravity. Weight is your mass times the gravitational force. That's how or the gravitational constant, which is how we get that. I'm loving these ideas. Ooh, so good. So think about this. It's always a drag. What a drag to be that force. It does make me roll in a wheel.
Motion.
And it makes me not slide.
Push.
Push is a good one. That's a great force. This is me pushing. Friction. So as I have friction, my foot is actually, when I walk, my foot's not going forward. You guys, if you don't believe me, you should stand up and try to take a few steps. Your foot that's moving you forward is not going forward. It's actually going backward relative to you because you're moving over your foot. So if I was just to look at like my body, my foot would be going backwards. And that means friction is like, oh, I do not like it when you try to go backwards. I'm going to push you forwards. And that's how we walk. We walk by pushing that forward by friction, which is awesome.
So
friction makes us roll.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know how it goes backwards because when you walk like this, and then it goes up.
Yeah.
Backwards and then up.
Exactly. Our motion is like this. It goes back behind us, and then we have to use our muscles to pull it forwards. Exactly. And so as we're trying to go backwards this way, our foot's trying to go this way, friction goes that way, and our whole bodies get to move that way, which is awesome. Now, friction is not usually a very big force. And one of the things we're going to do today to look at friction is to look at paper, which is kind of exciting. If you take your hands and you rub them apart like this, what do you feel?
Air going through.
Yeah, I feel air. I don't really feel much. And that's because friction needs something called that normal force. Like it needs the table pushing up on me, or it needs the chair pushing up on me. So if I now rub my hands lightly together, what do we feel?
A little bit of like that, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit of like,
Not going as fast.
it's a little harder. Now if I press harder, now, oh my gosh, my hands are getting warm. It's
My hands
it's
are like
really
taking
hard.
dry skin off.
Yes, we're using friction to clean our skin. Awesome. Digging it. So friction, the more we press down, the more friction acts for us. It's awesome. It's like one of those forces that can change for you.
Like when you swim.
Like when you swim. Ooh, great question. When you swim, you're going to be putting your force on the water. You're going to have a whole bunch of other forces that are happening. But it would be very similar. Like when you swim, you're pushing that water behind you. So now instead of looking at friction between our hands, I can take 2 pieces of paper and I can do the same thing. Like this. Now that friction between them could maybe hold something up. What do you think? Do you think it could hold something up?
Yeah, totally.
Totally. Do you think it could hold something up?
It could hold, like, paper could hold.
Ooh, it could hold the
Like
paper up. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to stack these up. We're going to see how much it can hold. We're going to show you guys how to do this at home, how to set it up. And then I've set up my own one that we'll demo with. But before we demo it, I want to take a vote. So if we were going to do this project, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually shuffle a whole bunch of Post-it notes. We're going to shuffle them together and stack paper like this. Joop, 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 joop. And there's a teeny tiny bit of friction between each piece of paper. It's a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. I know, you can see the 2 stacks come together. Isn't that cool?
So how did you get the yellow with the...
Ooh, I'll show you in just a sec. So we have a little bit of friction adding up. And my question to you is, see, Georgia sees, hang on, Georgia, see, she notices it can actually hold that big C-clamp, which is awesome. I'm curious how much it will be able to hold. And I'm also curious if we did something where we like sort of stacked the pages of a phone book, like could it lift a human being? Anybody think it could lift a human? If I did this with a phone book and I had 2 phone books like this and I had like, I held on one side, I attached it to the ceiling, do you think I could hold on the other side and maybe swing on it?
You can take the 2 outside pieces.
Yeah, we're only going to use like 2 little tiny pieces of tape. And then everything else is just going to be those papers. And I want to know if you think I could swing on 2 phone books that were sort of like the pages were looking like this. And so like I would hang this on some monkey bars and I could sit down here and swing.
That's how you do circus grips. You hold here and here.
Oh, interesting. That's how we do circus grips. I didn't know that. Do you think it would hold a human being?
Maybe.
Or do you think it would slip?
It depends.
Oh, what does it depend on? What do you think?
How heavy the human being is.
Okay, so let's go with like me.
No, me.
Okay, so you think it could hold a kid but not an adult?
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's phone book.
we could, I mean, if we went bigger, you don't think it would hold like something like a car?
No.
Okay, totally not. What do you think, Georgia?
I think it could hold a baby or a human girl that's little.
Okay.
Maybe not like 15 or 10.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that would be too much weight.
Okay.
It could be like, it could not be like 15 or 50.
All right, so we're sort of in
100.
agreement. I'm hearing some agreement. You girls both think it could hold somebody like elementary school age.
Yeah.
But maybe not like adult size, like high school age or older.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we're definitely thinking like couldn't hold up a table, couldn't hold up like a refrigerator or a car or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is our initial hypothesis. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get some more knowledge about this to see what we're going to do. And what you guys will do is you're going to count on, you're going to take your Post-it notes, and you're going to choose how many you want to do. 10, 20, 30, 40. In this stack, I have 80 Post-it notes that I pre-did. And so I'm going to give my girls both a stack of 10 to start. 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to give them 2 different colors. So if you're at home, you're going to want to choose how many you're doing. You're going to count off 7, 8, 9, 10. You're going to count off how many you want to do, and you'll need 2 stacks. So my girls are going to need 2 stacks, and they're going to be 10 each.
Are you going to stick them together on the sticky side?
We have 2 votes for no. They don't think that
question.
the Post-it note that a phone book can hold a person.
Okay.
I have a
We're all in
question.
agreement here. Yeah.
How does the yellow get onto the blue? Like that?
Oh, hang on. We're going to do it. Just a sec. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Here's your second stack, Georgia. And what we're going to do, Georgia, I'm going to get you started, is you'll take a little piece of tape, not too big, because we don't want people to think that the tape is going to hold anything up. And you're going to take your stacks. You're going to have the sticky sides out. So the open pieces go up to the inside. Sticky sides go to the outside. And what you're going to do...
How does it go together? Like here.
I know. So what you're going to do is you're going to take it up, and you're first going to put a piece of tape on the very back. So we're going to shift them in until they just about hit that back piece, and you'll put a little piece of tape on the back like that.
Like this?
So Georgia, you're all ready, and we're going to put a little piece of tape on the back for yours. You want to shift it in. Yeah, just like that. So that's kind of coming up to the glue.
Can we show that one? That
Yeah.
looks like Isabella?
So now I've got it sort of taped together.
Oh, Mama, that's cool.
And if we don't tape it, the problem is it'll sort of like shuffle as we do this. Oops. Here, let me see. I can get you 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Let's try this. Let's redo this guy. So that you got another full stack of 10. Okay. Let me get a piece of tape. And is Isabella shuffling? That's totally cool if you're shuffling. Because that is what I do. I'll show you guys how to shuffle in 1 second. Georgia set up. So again, I'm going to take just the bottom 2 pieces. I'm going to shift that pink one all the way sort of up. And then when it gets to that spot, I'm going to tape the back. If you don't tape the back, you'll get through this whole process and you'll like pick it up and it's going to fall apart for you. And then this is what we're going to do. I have pink now. I'm going to take 1 sheet of yellow and I'm going to put it down. And I'm going to take 1 sheet of pink and I'm going to put it down. Here you go, Georgia. Take 1 sheet of pink and put it down.
1 sheet of pink.
1 sheet of pink. Yeah, and then we're going to alternate. So now we want 1 sheet of yellow and 1 sheet of pink. There you go.
How do you do your big 80 pieces?
I took about 20 minutes this morning to get those 80 together for you guys. So we're going to just do these 10 really fast. We can do a preliminary question.
Got it.
And when we get to the top, so Isabella finished. She's got them all done. And you can kind of see the pink goes all the way to here. The yellow goes here. So they're sort of interleaved. You'll take on your top piece. You're going to take a little piece of tape again. And you're just going to tape it on there. So that if you do this, it doesn't like fall apart. If you don't tape it, just like doing this, it'll fall apart on you.
All right, we have a request to see the accordion again.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll do the accordion again.
Let me zoom in real quick.
So I'll do it some blue and some, oh, we actually have some pink and yellow.
Wait, Mama, can I try to pull it apart?
You can try to pull it apart.
Yeah, you can't.
Ooh, with 10, Isabella is having trouble pulling it apart. All right, so I'm going to start. Is this surprising?
Yeah.
So I am going to make the accordion, I'm going to take my 2 sets. Again, sticky sides go out, and I will just shift one up sort of to the inside middle. Oh no, it broke.
Why don't you come up here? I can help you, Georgia.
Daddy, I'll help you. Go grab Daddy. He'll help. Here, take the tape with you.
Yeah. Mama.
All right, and so once I have
Can't do
that
it.
back piece taped, I'm going to take 1 yellow Post-it note, and I'm going to put it down all the way up to wherever it goes. And then I'm going to take 1 pink Post-it note from my big long stack, and I'm going to put that all the way down. I'm going to take 1 yellow Post-it note, and I'll just keep doing this for how many ever you decide. If you decided 10, 20, 30, 40, and you're just going to keep going. And when you get to the top, you just want to put a piece of tape. Isabella wants to try. Ugh. Oh, so it does come apart. But it was stronger than Isabella. Stronger than a 9-year-old. Intriguing. So this one I only have like 4, and it's still doing like, it doesn't come apart like super fast.
Oh, no, it does.
It does. Okay. Maybe it comes apart a little fast. It definitely comes apart faster.
Yeah.
So 5 or so was pretty easy. 10 you had some trouble with.
Yeah.
What do you think we can do with 80? We're gonna get Daddy in here.
What do you mean? Won't it fall and then it'll hurt somebody?
I don't know. We're gonna try it. What is science without a little trial and error? So Georgia is getting her shuffles. Do you want to do it on the table? You want me to help you hold it? Here, hang on one sec. You got this guy flipped over, which is gonna make it harder. There you go. All right, take one pink. Oops, got all them. There you go. And one yellow. Yep, and then one pink. One yellow.
How did the blue
Beautiful.
turn into yellow?
How did the blue? Oh, so the one Isabella has, I had to do a few different stacks of Post-it notes to make it up to 80. So there's like different colors. Oh, I think you got 2. There we go.
We have Hunter said, what is forceful friction called?
What is the force of friction called? It's called the force of friction, which is pretty cool.
Oh, Mom, I did it. It's turning into yellow and pink.
Yeah. You can see it on one side and then
Yeah, because the pink is going on this side and the yellow's going on.
exactly. They're sort of blending in with each other. All right. Oops, and we had a couple extra. That's okay. We'll just rip those off. And then I think you got to go to Daddy to get the piece of tape. Hold that together nice and tight. All right. So if you're at home and you're doing that, awesome. 2 ways you can test it. So if you don't have C-clamps, these are like maybe the most industrial C-clamps I've ever seen. But C-clamps also look something like this. And if you have C-clamps and you want to do a really good scientific inquiry of this, you can actually clamp onto one side of the Post-it notes.
We have some
And-
kiddos saying hi.
Ooh, I want to say hi to people who's out there. Who do we have?
I see Griffin
Hi,
and Kavi.
Griffin! Kavi's back. Yes, it's like a party. This is awesome.
There's
Who knew school closures could be so fun?
Hunter.
Hello, Hunter. All right, and then for the other sides, you would so this you would have maybe not just the Post-it notes. You have like a piece of table or chair or wood, and you put a C-clamp on the other side with a bucket. So then you could fill up the bucket with weight, and you can see when it drops.
Don't fill it up with water and do
We
it
have
inside.
Harper and Zach and
Good morning.
Ruby and Leif.
Ooh, Ruby and Leif. Ruby, I hope you were here when we talked about the egg and the bubbles, because that was awesome.
And Elsa and Lauren.
Oh, Elsa and Lauren from MCS, I love that. All right, so we are going to move our table to do the experiment. We're just going to demo this because it would take a long time on sort of live YouTube to sit here with like buckets and fill it. But we're going to move our table and we are going to see if we could actually lift something like heavier than we thought we could. And I want to say at any point, if you change your initial hypothesis, that's okay. That's called science. That's what scientists do. In fact, our whole job is like, oh, I see this is happening. I think it's this way. And like, let me try everything I can to show that that's not how it is. So instead of trying to find something and say like, okay, I'm just going to support that, you actually try to attack it as much as possible. Like your goal is to actually fail. And if you don't fail, then you're like, oh, I guess that is actually how it works, which is pretty cool.
Rex
All right.
says hi, and George and Henry say hi.
Hello, Rex and George and Henry. I am excited that we're there. All right, we're gonna move the table. We have lots of kids. So this is what we're gonna do. He's one of our people watching. We're gonna have Evan.
William pronoun?
Maybe, I don't know. So we're gonna have Evan hold this.
Who thinks I can pull it apart?
Ooh, would we like to see if Evan can pull it apart?
Yes.
All right, you might need to tighten these. Yeah, I think I did a self-tighten of these. I think a strong arm tighten of these is maybe better. Because actually when I did this before, the thing we found failed most often was it slipping out of the C-clamp. Instead of it, when Isabella's came apart, it kind of came apart like this. What we found most often happened was it actually just fell out of the C-clamp.
All right, so
All right, he's gonna try.
I'm gonna try. We have a couple people who think I can pull it apart.
Okay. He's going. He's going for it. I don't know if he can do it. Would one of you two like
I want
to try
Me too.
Do
to
you
get
want?
lifted up by it?
Oh, I want to do that.
All right.
Don't drop me.
Well, we don't know when it'll fail.
Let me see.
Curious
All
questions.
right, you hold on to the bottom ones.
Careful. Oh my gosh, she's in the air. 80 Post-it notes.
I want to try.
All right, so we know we can get a kindergartner in the air
All right.
with 80 Post-it notes,
Hold on to that, sir, real quick.
which is super exciting.
All right.
Question is, can we get a fourth grader in the air?
Who thinks we can get a fourth grader?
Who thinks we can do this?
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm feeling pretty good about it. And I'm also curious if 80 Post-it notes can lift a kindergartner. Would you like to change your mind on if a phone book could lift an adult?
Who wants to change their mind?
I want to change.
Isabella's changing her mind. She thinks maybe a phone book could now lift an adult.
I don't want to land there.
Let's see if we can pick Isabella up.
All right.
I would just lift your legs up so that you can be ready.
All right.
Here we go. And, oh, she's nervous. She's nervous. She is in the air! All right. We can lift elementary age children in the air with 80 Post-it notes.
All right, we're gonna try.
Do you guys think we can lift an adult?
Oh God.
Who thinks we should try?
Yes. Yes.
I think we should try. I think we should try. Let's do it. Here we go. I don't know. Maybe you're not strong enough.
Wait, Georgia, let's try again with Georgia.
Okay, Georgia wants to try again.
Hey, Georgia.
This is like the new carnival ride. The force of friction and what it can do for you. Look, I know you're a foot off the ground.
I'm trying to get it down.
All right. Isabella is my safety advisor. She's bringing Patty over. Thank you. I appreciate this. We're going to see if just 80 Post-it notes can lift an adult. And to remind you before, we thought it would take a whole phone book to lift elementary size. And now we're at 80 Post-it notes. Phone books are like 500 pages.
No, I thought they were 1,000.
Maybe 1,000.
Wait, no.
That just helps our case. That just helps our case. All right, here we go. We're going to see if we can do this. Science in action.
This is very.
Let's go. All right. Can we do it? Oh, we couldn't do it. Oh, but look, that wasn't the friction. It was the C-clamp. Oh, and I was in the air for a little bit. So,
The C clamp
80
was
Post-it
slipped
notes
off.
can lift an adult. All right, we're going to move our table back. Give us one moment.
Mama, why did it go on this side but not this side?
The pink?
Yeah.
Oh, because I think we had a little extra of pink Post-it notes. We weren't quite even. Georgia, let's move our chair backwards. Can you move your chair backwards, love? We're going to move ourselves backwards.
Oh my
That was
gosh.
so exciting. Was that not so exciting?
It.
That was so
I
exciting.
lifted a phone book to hold like.
It lifted me for like maybe 2 seconds before our C clamps broke. But it lifted me. Woo! Okay. So, who would like to change the vote on if a phone book can lift a human being? Do you think a phone book could lift me? With the proper C-clamps. Let's just assume that we're going to have it clamped properly. Because that's not fair to the phone book or the Post-it notes. Do you think it could do it, Belly?
Yeah.
All right. Do you think it could lift a refrigerator?
Yeah.
Do you think a phone book could lift a car?
Yeah.
Wait, so we're changing our mind. What about you, Georgia?
If
That's totally
80
cool.
Post-it
Love it. If 80 Post-it notes lifted me, what could 1,000 phone book pages do
Yeah,
for a
because
car?
how much is a car?
Like, cars like usually about like a ton, so like 2,000, couple thousand pounds, like 2,000 pounds maybe.
We still have kiddos saying no.
120.
I weigh 120 pounds.
We still have kiddos saying no for the
So
car.
awesome! Love this. So Georgia, what are you thinking? Do you think a phone book could lift an adult human? Phone books are like they're like this thick, guys. So and then they have really thin pages, and we would put like metal, and we would drill bolts through
I'm
it, and
doing
put
the
chains, maybe use a crane.
I'm doing the math.
Isabella's doing the math, which is awesome. I love it.
I wanna
So,
do another one.
I do have an answer for you on this, but I'm not going to tell you. I know, it's so exciting. But if you join us for the live Q&A after this, when we have lunch together, I will play a video for you so we can see if it does it or not. So they'll put a phone book, they'll rig it all up, and they'll try to lift it up by crane. And we'll find out if the car can actually get off the ground or not. Maybe we have a crash car, maybe we don't. Curious minds will find out. All right, so that was our awesome forces project. And forces, when we put forces over a distance, we get energy. So that's how we put energy into systems. Like if I want to give this some energy, I can lift it up, and I had to put a force on that spoon to lift it up. And the farther I lift it, the more energy I give it, because as you can imagine, when I drop it, if I drop it from here, it doesn't do much. Maybe I shouldn't use this spoon. All right, if I drop this from here, doesn't go very fast.
I
If I
wanna
drop it
make
from here,
another.
Okay, let me help you.
it goes faster, which means I gave it more energy. And I always like to think of two types of energy. One is called potential energy, which for your guys' age, I like to think of it as like the potential to move stuff. So whatever kind of potential energy you're giving, you're giving it potential to move. So here, I'm giving this moon the potential to fall and move, which is called kinetic.
Can I
Or-
round up to 100 for the 80%?
You can totally round up to 100. Or if I was going to take a rubber band, I could give it potential energy by stretching it, which gives it the ability to move. It's like the potential. It could possibly move if I were to let go. And then it would move. And then once it's moving, it's called kinetic energy. We're going to make something called a kinetic roller. And I love these because right now I'm adding potential energy into the system. I'm putting a force and forcing this popsicle stick around and around and around. And what I'm doing on the inside is I'm actually twisting the rubber bands. And when it's ready, I can take that potential to move that I've put in the system and I can make it actually move,
Wait, how do you do the math?
which is awesome. Ooh, maybe we'll talk about the math at lunch. Just like that. So we're gonna make that right now. Are you girls ready to make one?
Yeah.
All right.
Do I get to make my own?
You guys get to make your own.
We have somebody saying in middle school science class, we talk about kinetic energy a lot.
Yes, kinetic energy is that energy of movement. So when you're going down a roller coaster, you get a lot of kinetic energy. And actually the amount of kinetic energy you have is completely based on how fast you're moving. Oh my gosh, I just lost some supplies. So what you're gonna need for this is you need 2 cups. And for some reason I only have 2 cups instead of 4, but we're gonna cut this part apart, I think, so that we can make all of them. Maybe we can get a knife. Ooh, here's a knife. Perfect. For some reason I was thinking with just 2. Maybe you want to check the garage and see if we've got 2 more in the garage that are drilled. These cups are just plain like red Solo cups, but I've drilled a hole in the bottom. It doesn't need to be a huge hole, but it will need to be big enough to get your rubber band through that hole. It doesn't work, Georgie. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's just because you have to rip these extras off. So you have too many. They weren't even. And then you take a piece of tape and you tape it right there and see you got the blue. And then this side you probably have the pink. All right, so let's see if we can get this taken apart. This is my example demo. Oh, you do. Perfect.
Something just like this one.
You know what? Would you like me to help you with that at lunch? I can totally help you with that at lunch. Oh, we have a drill coming in. So we basically drilled this.
Oh, Georgie, you want to come hang out with me?
Do you want to hang out with Daddy, Georgia? And we can make this later if you want to.
Drill. Cups.
And you just drill it through it. I know. It's a loud noise. So you'll have your 2 cups. This is going to be yours, Georgia, okay? And you're going to need 2 rubber bands per person. Here's your 2.
I have 1.
Oh, you have 1. Perfect. There's your 2. These are going to be Georgia's 2. What you'll do is you're going to loop these rubber bands together. If you've ever played with hair bands, you've done this like a ton of times. Do you want to come loop it together, Georgia?
Wanna like this?
Yep, just like that. So you'll put it through, and then you'll choose one, and you'll put that one through itself, like that, and you'll pull.
Do you want to
So
do it
again, we'll put it through just like this, and then you could even put your fingers through this guy, that hole, and then grab the other one, pinch it, and pull it through. You want to do it? You want to link those together for me?
Raiden said his clamps held 52 pounds with 10 Post-it notes.
What? That is a lot. Where did I lost my toothpick too.
Mama, do you do like this?
Yes. So yeah, what you can do after is you can thread it through here. You don't want to pull it through any more than that. But then you're going to take a toothpick.
I thought you used this.
Oh, that we're going to use on one side, but not this side. We're going to take a toothpick.
I know how to do it without the toothpick.
And we got to get the toothpick through this bead.
Why
And
do
the
you
bead,
use a toothpick?
yeah, well, the toothpick helps like shove it through. But the bead is really important because of friction. Ooh, can I help you with yours, Georgia? Georgia's got our toothpick. So if we don't put the bead on, when we make our kinetic roller, this popsicle stick will rub the whole time around. And in fact, fact, you won't be able to roll. So you really need that bead. If you don't have a bead, what you could use is like a nut or a washer or something to just like raise that up. Ooh, we want to use the bead to put it through. We want to use that guy to put it through here. Watch. We're about to do that, so that's perfect. Let's do it. Here, grab in there and pull it through. Yeah, pull that guy all the way through. We're gonna pull it hard. Harder. We're gonna shove it in. Let's see. Oh, there we go.
Mama,
Beautiful.
like this.
All right, and then we're gonna shove it through the bead. Oh, you know what? We're gonna put a CD on that. All right, so what I like to do is I like to take a blunt toothpick. I take the pointy part off, and I put it through the rubber band like this, and then you're gonna shove it through the bead. It's really tricky. This is probably the hardest part of the whole thing, is to get it through that bead.
I tried.
Yeah, see if you can pinch that
Are
rubber
you
band.
gonna take that much of that of bellies?
Yeah, you gotta get that rubber band out of there.
Bellies too.
Uh-huh. See, can we get that toothpick out without losing the rubber band? Ugh. And moms and dads and parents out there, you might want to help them get this part in. There we go. Pull the bead down a little bit. Beautiful. And now you're going to take a whole popsicle stick and you're going to put it through that loop by the bead. Oop. You need to get it through the bead?
You don't need to pull it any farther, Georgia.
Yeah, you don't have to pull it all the way. So what we'll do, George is all ready. Let's show yours off here. So she's got the bead that's on our rubber band. And you're going to slide this through the loop above the bead. I can help you. I'm just
Wait, no,
gonna
I got it.
And then we're going to pull it down. There we go. And we're just going to, so now we've pulled it down and we're just going to actually move the rubber band towards the edge. Pull it, girl. Pull it. There we go. Perfect. All right, Isabella's got hers rocking and rolling. Now you're gonna take your other cup, and you can do this part, Georgia. Okay, I'm sorry. Do you want me to take it out? You want to take it out? Or do you want to go ahead? Oh, you want it like that. So you really want it to not be even. Your popsicle stick should be shifted to one side.
How do you?
If you look at mine, I actually just have a little bit of popsicle stick on one side and a lot of popsicle stick on the other. See, Georgia?
How do you?
And Isabella's on the next part of when we're going to put it through the cup. So you're ready, Georgia? I'm going to give you this piece so you can do it. You're going to put this piece on the other rubber bands. We have a second rubber band that's in here. And you're going to put it, not pointy side, put the dull side up. And then we're going to use our little hands. Little hands are way better at this. I like to stretch it. Oop. You're going to grit that guy right on in there.
Can you help me?
I can help you in 1 second. Yep, and then I like to hold it straight up and down. And then you're going to pinch it, grab it here, down here. There we go. Yep. And now you're going to shove it through this hole. And I'll grab it on the other side for you. Or you can grab it on the other side if you can. And get it up there. Oh, yeah. Yeah. A little bit more. A little bit more. Ah. Oh, she's pushing so hard. Let's see. Oh, we lost it. Let's try again. It didn't break. It did not break. Here, would you like me to try to get this piece in for you?
So
Do you want to pull it?
So close.
There you go. This is also a tricky part. Go for it. Let me see, Ellie. What are you doing?
No, I was so close.
Use the toothpick to push it up.
No, I pull it up from there.
Okay. Yes. Oh, yeah. There you go, Georgia. Now you can pull the toothpick out. Beautiful. Put a finger through that loop for the moment, so we don't lose that loop. So she got it through. And then when you get it through, you're going to take a little tiny piece of popsicle stick and put it right where her finger is. Just like that. And we'll pop it out. Beautiful. All right. And Georgia's is almost ready. So she's got the rubber band, the 2 rubber bands inside, a bead and a popsicle stick on this side, and just a plain little popsicle stick piece over here. What do we still need, Georgia?
We still need one of those on each side.
We need some wheels.
Mama,
So true. I'm going to get you some wheels and a hot glue gun, Georgia, in 1 second. All right. Oops. Let's put this through.
I got one of those.
You got the hot glue gun.
It was
I don't know. Rip a CD off of mine.
It was dripping.
It was dripping.
See, with it for you.
So I get to get this part through. I like to take the blunt toothpick, and then I'm going to put it through the hole, and it'll pop through, and I'll just grab it on the other side. And then I'll put a little piece of popsicle stick there to make sure that the rubber band can't go backwards. Beautiful. If you want to, at this point, you can actually hot glue around this seam to make sure it holds in place. And again, when we have these popsicle sticks, we want them to be like really a little tiny bit on one side and really long on the other, and we're going to put them flat. And we're going to hot glue around the white part. And then we'll add our CD wheels and get it started. Beautiful. We have some awesome CD wheels. And you can choose if you want shiny side out or less shiny side out.
Mama, how do you put these?
Oh, yeah.
When you go like
Great question. And then pull it through. Pull the popsicle stick through.
But then what is this?
So like, just like that. It pops on through. Ooh, ouch. There we go. Oh, perfect. This looks great. Great. Can I help you get the CD on? And then you can put the other one on? Which way do you want it? What do you want to be on the outside?
Can I get another glue?
Yeah, go grab another one. So much glue. Wait, hang on. Let's, okay, yeah, we'll put that on this side.
We have a suggestion that we can use this as an Easter egg basket.
Ooh, I love that. Ooh, wait, before we glue on that one, we got to put it on this part.
What do you mean we can use it?
You could like make it and put it into an Easter egg basket because kids will love playing with this. So to get this one through the CD, you just plop the popsicle stick through. I like to hold on to that rubber band to make sure you don't lose all that good hard work you just did. And then we are ready. Oops, this guy. Oh, you know what? Let's glue around the edges. So now we're going to glue the 2 wheels on. If we don't glue the 2 wheels on, they'll just spin and my whole item won't spin. The wheels will just sort of, we won't get what we're hoping for. All right, so Georgia, can you put some glue down here like this in a circle? Get that little wheel glued on real nice.
Not yet.
Not quite yet. Oh, you need a glue stick right here. Here's a glue stick for you. Shoot. All right. And once we're done with these, you can decorate them. That's something that we'll do in our little Q&A lunch that we'll head over to in just a moment. Yes, Isabella's will warm up during our lunch. So once you have it like this, what you'll do is you're going to have to wind it a whole bunch. You want to probably know which direction you wind it, because if you wind it this way a whole bunch and then you start winding it the other way, you have to unwind your rubber band and start rewinding it again, so you have to do it a lot.
I have 2 more of these. I really want to make something.
2 more cups?
Yeah.
Yes, we can get them for you at lunch, okay? Because it's about lunch. So you'll keep winding it until it starts to come back. See how the popsicle stick comes back? And then it'll start moving for you. And you can notice that it will even spin by itself. If you go a lot, it will go farther and faster. However, there will be a point where your rubber band will snap. So you can do it a lot. You just gotta you wanna think about that. If it's getting really hard to twist, then you probably are getting to that point.
All right. Why should this one go round and this one not?
We're gonna glue that one on. We're gonna glue both those wheels on. So we're gonna head over to our Zoom Q&A for lunch as we finish up these projects and decorate them. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. It is so much fun doing science with you guys. We will watch the videos on Zoom as we're eating lunch, and we'll get to see some of these in action that the girls are making. We'll decorate them, and I can answer any questions you have. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notifications, check out our Patreon to get all the downloads, give us a thumbs up, and share what we're doing. And we will see you in a few short minutes. Have a great one. Awesome. All right, girls.
Are they coming?
They're going to come into a different